Blockchain is such an incredible invention, and over the past decade, we've seen some great things come out of it, like cryptocurrencies and NFTs, but honestly, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Blockchain really will change our lives, and no, I'm not talking about Bitcoin, I'm talking about a thing called smart contracts. This technology is what's going to make amazing things like self-driving cars a reality. And in this video, I'm going to go over why smart contracts are so important and how we're all going to be using them in our everyday lives. But before we start, my name is Chris, and 10K Trades is a brand new YouTube channel talking about investing, cryptocurrencies, and other blockchain news. So all I'm asking is hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, and I promise there will be much more content coming on in the future. Now let's get into today's video. So now, getting into these smart contracts, let's first go over what they actually are. A smart contract is a computer program or code which is intended to automatically execute all relevant actions according to the terms of a contract or agreement. Now let me put this into more simple terms by telling you this example. So if you have two complete strangers on opposite sides of the world and they need to make a transaction, they don't trust each other, they don't know each other, obviously this is very, very sketchy. But what you can do is you can write code that acts as the middleman, and it ensures that both parties hold up their end of the bargain so that they can trust and make a full transaction between each other. And the code that you write as a middleman is essentially the smart contract, and it makes sure that both parties hold up their end of the bargain to make sure it's a successful transaction. Now that is just the most basic form of what smart contracts can do, but now in the real world we're seeing these things called decentralized applications, or dApps, and this is the real world application of this smart contract. And this is creating the Web 3.0, and I believe that the next billion-dollar companies that we're going to be seeing over the next 10 to 20 years will all be smart contract based, or at least have smart contract integration. Like, this technology is so revolutionary. Now let's get into some real world examples. So like I mentioned before, the first one is self-driving cars. Okay, in order to understand this, we first need to look at how this would work in a centralized viewpoint and then versus a decentralized viewpoint. Okay, first, to start with the centralized viewpoint, let's say we have two Teslas and they're driving on the road and they each stop at a stop sign. Okay, they're both self-driving cars and they need to understand which car has the right of way to go first. What they would have to do is first they would have to send a signal back to Tesla's programming site, then to configure which car actually came first, and then it would tell you which car has the right of way, and then that car could finally go. And now for a decentralized viewpoint, if two random cars stop at a stop sign, they're both self-driving and they each have their own decentralized entity inside, they can create a smart contract between the two to tell you which car actually can go first. And the cars deal with each other directly. They don't have to go to a central entity in order to tell them which one could go first. And this is just the most simple example of how this would work with self-driving cars, but just knowing that the adoption of smart contracts is really getting us one step closer to fully self-driving cars. And the next real world example is if we look at content and art sales. Just looking in the past couple months, NFTs have exploded and created this huge market for the selling and buying of digital art. Now, an NFT is a non-fungible token, which means that each token is unique and cannot be traded out with another token. All of them have their own unique value. And this is why it became so big in the art world, is because your digital art piece sold as an NFT can be given its own value and it cannot be swapped out for any other token. So that's why tons of artists were beginning to sell their art as NFTs and earn commission on this. But the coolest part about NFTs is the actual commission base. So let's say that I put out an NFT and I sell it for $1,000, but I want my commission to be 20%. So first I sell it to one person for $1,000. I keep that full $1,000 obviously from that sale. Then later that person resells that same art piece to another person for $2,000. Remember, I still have this 20% commission. So on that sale, I still receive $400 of that commission, because even though I wasn't a part of that sale, I still created that piece, so I get a piece of the commission. And then if that art is resold again later, I still get 20%, and it continues to go on. So creators continue to get paid for their work even after that initial sale. And the crazy thing is, this model will work for so many other different things, not just art. It can work for ticket sales when tickets are being scalped. It can work for books, it can work for movies, it can work for so many other different industries. And overall, the next 5 to 10 years really will be such an exciting time, because we're going to be seeing such amazing things come out of the use of smart contracts. And if this video was helpful at all I'm asking is please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. 10K Trades is a brand new channel talking about investing, cryptocurrency, and other blockchain news. And I promise there will be much more content coming out in the future. I'll see you next time.